welcome back to my channel. My name is Yvonne. Thank you so much for being here. So as you can see in the title, today we will be reviewing the new L'Oreal products. So they have released a couple of products in the last couple of months. I think they were out in the States a couple of months ago, but they've just been released in Ireland. So I picked them up and I wanted to review them. So we have the Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Foundation. I picked this up in the shade True Beige. They have them in about 30 shades on the L'Oreal Paris website and about 25 on the Boots website. I also picked up the new Infallible, see it there, More Than Concealer. So this is supposed to be a good dupe for Shape Tape, so I'm going to put that to the test as well. And also they brought out a new brow product called Unbelieva'brow, and I got that in the shade 104, which is like I think a light brown shade. First of all, I primed my face with the Stila One Step Corrector Primer. I am going through this one. I want to get this one finished. I'm on a mission this year to get a good few products finished, because I suppose I buy so many new products that it just accumulates really, really quickly, and I want to get through the ones that perhaps I don't use as often, or maybe donate those or something like that, or give them to family or friends. So yeah, I'm kind of nerdy through this one. So this is just a really nice, it feels kind of nice and smoothing, slightly hydrating, a little bit tacky, so it gives something for the foundation to stick to. So I have used this once, so when I first got it I wanted to try it, so I did use it one day. I only had it on for a couple of hours, so I want to give it more of a test this time. My first impressions were really, really good. So this one claims to be 24-hour fresh wear, and it's supposed to be relatively dewy, so it's not going to be too drying. A lot of people have spoken about the fragrance and the scent on this one, so I will probably be discussing that as well, giving my thoughts on that. My first impressions of it were, as I said, very, very good. I suppose fresh is a very accurate term to describe it. It looked like my skin, very soft, the colour was right. So yeah, I'm just going to test it out and see, does it become one of my new favourite foundations. So this was, I think, about €15, 16, 17 euro. So the other thing, yeah, was the concealer. I'm really excited to try this. I did try this on the same day I tried this. It was good. I can't completely remember. I think I liked it, but as well, again, it was just a really short test. So I want to try it again and see, is it as full coverage as it claims. So I got that one in the shade Ivory. It was very hard to pick my shade online. They have kind of pinkier shades, they have cooler tone shades. So as a rule of thumb, you would look at the veins on the insides of your wrist, and if you have mainly blue veins, it means that you are cool toned. And if you have kind of green veins, it means you're more warm toned. So you're probably going to enjoy more yellow toned foundations more. And if you have a mix, it means you're neutral. And I actually have a mix. So I'm just going to put this in the back of my hand to show you. I actually have, I don't know if you can see it there. I don't think you can see it. When I was in yesterday, I swatched the new L'Oreal, I think they're called Signature Rouge liquid lipsticks, and I can't get it off. It stained my hands pink and red. I have used cleansing wipes, I've used soap. I know they kind of aren't as heavy duty, and then I use an oil-based cleanser that I don't normally use on my eyes, and it still won't come off. So they're also very, very long wearing, if anyone is wondering. I didn't buy any because I have so many lip products at the moment that I want to try, so I didn't get them. So enough. So it's quite runny. You can see it running down my hand there. It's not thick. The shade is quite nice. It's definitely neutral toned. So I'm just going to take some on my beauty blender and start to blend that in. lucky with that shade. It's perfect for me, I'd say. If you're similar to my skin tone, then definitely, if you're gonna pick them up or try them, then I would say True Beige is your colour as well. You can see there's a bit of a shine off it, so it's not completely matte. We'll see when it dries down. Does it dry down completely matte? Fragrance-wise, there is a fragrance, but it goes away almost as soon as you blend it on the skin. I'm going to zoom you in, just to... so you can see. It's not full coverage. Definitely not full coverage. It's a good medium coverage. It's made my skin look really, really, really smooth and like completely poreless. That primer, Stila primer, might have helped as well. At the moment, I can see no lines on my forehead, which is unusual because I have lines. But I'd say once I give it a bit longer to settle, that it might settle a little. Yeah, it's kind of, it might settle in a little bit. So first impressions are brilliant, bloody brilliant. Really, really nice coverage. It built up quite nicely. I would not call this, I don't think I'd call this full. Medium to full, maybe at a push. So I'm not going to set that or anything. I might set a tiny bit around the nose if it starts to get oily, but I think for the moment we'll move on to the concealer. So this has a good few shades. I can't remember the amount. I'll write it down below, but it does come in a good few shades. Not as many as, you know, the likes of the Fenty, but not many brands can compare to Fenty in terms of shade ranges. So I'm going to go in with one light layer first. I said this is the shade Ivory. Nice kind of packaging. It's funny how almost every concealer that comes out now is compared to Shape Tape. It's like Shape Tape is the kind of standard to which every other concealer that comes out is held against. And Shape Tape, a lot of people love it, but it's not to everyone's taste. Not everyone likes that full coverage kind of, I don't want to say heavy, but heavy-ish look under the eye. So, concealer, it's very creamy. See it there? Sorry, I put it in the most awkward place. It's really creamy. Good bit brighter than my foundation, but I don't really mind that too much. So I'm going to use just the top of that same beauty blender. I'm just going to try stamp that in. And you can see, I mean, you can clearly see the difference there. I can see a little bit of kind of purple coming through there in the corner. I'll probably try to build that up afterwards. So under these bright lights I have, it's really picking up. Like, it looks very obvious on my face. In person it's not quite as obvious. I'm gonna try, even that little bit I have in the back of my hand, I'm gonna try put some more in the inner corner. I'm not sure how this layers. I might just put a dot. So I suppose if I was to compare this to the likes of the Fenty concealer, that video should be going up before this one. And the Fenty one, same as the foundation, dries very, very fast. You have to work with it quite quickly. This one you have a little bit more kind of playtime with it. But I generally would blend it out straight away anyway, just for fear of it going into my creases. Okay, now I'm going to use my beloved Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Just to set the under eye. So far that concealer is not drying. It's really smooth and creamy. It's amazing how flat your face looks when you put on a kind of high coverage foundation and concealer. And that's why we add, you know, bronzer and blusher and highlighter, because it adds some dimension and depth back into the face. It's amazing how much the lights pick up, the really, really bright lights I have. They're really, really showing how bright my under eye looks. So I'd be curious to see if there's any flashback with this concealer. Once I'm done the rest, I'll have to definitely take some pictures. I really can't complain about that foundation so far. I really like it. Now I have just applied it, so I can give it a few hours. I'm definitely planning to do some check-ins later on, just to show you how it's wearing throughout the evening, throughout the day. So yeah, I'm just going to go and finish the rest of my makeup. So I am back for the next part. So I'm going to try to do my brows with this Unbelieva'brow. I'm a little bit scared. It's supposed to last 2 days. I don't know who leaves the brows on for 2 days. Does it not rub off on your pillow? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna try it. I'm a little bit apprehensive about this. But let's see how it works. Just making sure that it's recording. It's so easy to be talking away and then realize it's not recording or the microphone isn't on. Yeah. So it comes with this little applicator here. It has a spoolie on one end and an angled brush on the other. So the instructions are: lightly apply product to fill in sparse areas. Use the angled brush to outline and define brow shape. To finish, comb through the brows with the spoolie. So are you supposed to... So I think this has a doe foot applicator. So what, you put it on with this? You're hardly able to get a precise line with that. Like, I don't know how malleable the product is if I put this on first and then use the angled brush. Right, I'm gonna try do it the way they say to see if it works. My brows aren't very thick or anything. Like, they are there, but they're not very thick, so I'm just really afraid of it going messy. It's a gel, it's a formula, so it's long wear brow gel. So, oh, I'm really scared. Okay, am I in focus? Yes, I am. I feel like perhaps I should use the angle brush instead. Okay, I'll try it on this one first. Right, wish me luck. Actually, I'm gonna brush them first. That's probably a good idea. Right. Okay, it's quite thick. You can definitely feel that it's a gel. It actually feels very similar to the Maybelline Peel Off brow tint that I really like. I must actually do that on camera once to show you how kind of easy it is, and you peel it off. It lasts for like, I think, up to 2 or 3 days. Mine lasted for ages. It was so good. I'm like holding my breath. Oh, that's quite dark. Jesus. Okay. Don't want the front of the brow to be too dark. I've given it a nice kind of shape there. So then you're supposed to take this brush and outline and define brow shape. So this is supposed to be one product. Like, I would typically use, well, it depends. If I'm going for a natural brow, I would just use a kind of a pencil. But if I want a more defined brow, I tend to use, you know, a pencil and then a gel. That's actually not bad. My brows look really thick. They're not, but they look thick. Look at the difference. I know I probably should have went for like the blonde shades, but the blonde shades in my experience are always, one, too light, and two, they're too warm tones. They tend to look like orange on my brow, and I don't like that. Again, the camera's making, the lights rather, are making the brow look really dark, and in person it's not. It's similar to what I would normally use. That actually wasn't too hard. I thought it was going to be really messy, but it was fine. I'm not using it flat, I'm using it kind of side on the brow, if that makes sense. Just feel like I have more control if I do it that way. Okay. If you use the flat side, a lot of product comes off, so definitely if you're going to use the kind of flat side as opposed to the side on that I used, definitely wipe off the excess first, I would say. So I'm going to go back in with this little brush again. Oh god, they're like hard. Jesus, it's like rock. Like I can kind of feel it on my face. I just brushed off it there and I could feel it. It's quite thick. I'm just going to do this because beauty blenders are great, like not just for a base application, but like I love blusher and I went a bit hard on the blusher, and then a good trick is if you just, either damp beauty blender just to bounce it on top of it. It brings down the colour a little bit. It's great for that. So I think I'm going to have to put a tiny bit more on top. Now that looks messy. I think you have one shot with this product. You have like one shot at it. Like don't layer it. I just had to because I had too much at the front, and then I went back over my beauty blender to try kind of tone it down a little bit. I'm just using a spoolie. Oh, that's kind of working now to distribute that through. Yeah, so when I'm checking back in later with my foundation, I will show you how the brows situation is going. I don't think these are going to budge. They feel like rock hard, which is nice because I won't have to worry about them fading or smudging. But we'll put the product to the test and see. Okay, I will speak to you all very soon. Hello, I am back. So this has been roughly 4 hours since I have applied the foundation, the L'Oreal 24-Hour Freshwear Foundation. I just thought I would show you what's going on. So I filmed other videos, I've eaten dinner. So, ooh, we're getting up really close there. Wow, look how bloodshot my eyes are. So, from what I can see in the mirror, there's on my nose, there's a tiny bit of separation, not huge though by any means. I've eaten dinner and I'm a messy eater, so as usual around my chin there's a little bit of pink coming through, or my natural kind of redness is coming through. Forehead, you can see some lines there, again a little exaggerated, not huge. I'm not really kind of mad at them. It's more how my skin looks. It still looks quite fresh, it looks quite healthy. Yeah, I'll have to see in another couple of hours. This is 4 hours in. I can't do like, a 12-hour wear test day, unfortunately. I can maybe do it another day and then post the update on my Instagram, or even just below this video. But thought I'd give it even if it's not a super long wear test, I'll still do a wear test. Oh, and my boyfriend told me that my eyebrows look like they've been done. So he asked me have my eyebrows been done by a professional. So clearly they look quite good. They haven't really budged. They look a little bit hard up close, like you can see that they've kind of been set with something, but that's only if you're really scrutinizing it. So yeah, I'm really happy with this so far. The foundation hasn't really moved too much, as I said, just a little bit of wear around, typically around the nose and a tiny bit around the chin. Nothing too big to report on just yet. Okay, and I will try come back in another couple of hours. Hello, I am back for my final check-in. So I've had the foundation and the concealer and the brows on for about 7.5 hours now. I know it's not super long, but it's all I could do today. As I said, I will do a longer test another day and then give an update. So just having a look. Brows have not moved at all. Creases on my forehead still there. Separation on my nose still there. Bit around my chin still there. I can see. As for under the eyes, I don't know if you can. They still look quite bright. There isn't a massive amount of creasing. I mean, there's, there's. Sorry, that looks gross. I know. I'm just gonna pull down my eye. There's a small bit, but there's actually very little. Like, I've used other concealers where I have gotten far more creasing far quicker. So far, so good. I'd say the powder probably helped to stop some of the creasing. And then, even if it did crease, I'd say if you just used a good setting spray to rehydrate the skin, and then bounce a sponge in, you'd probably be able to get rid of any of those creases, I would say, but you have to hydrate it first to stop going really, really dry. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed with this foundation. I already had a feeling from the first time I wore it that I would really, really enjoy it. And I have. I mean, it looks, as I said, it does look like fresh. If I was to use one word to describe it, it actually would be fresh. So I think it's quite an accurate title. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and give the new L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, the Infallible More Than Concealer, and the Unbelieva'brow, all from L'Oreal. I'm going to give them a big thumbs up. They're really, really good. So I will wear them more, but so far I am really, really, really happy with them. I can see myself wearing this foundation an awful lot. It doesn't look heavy, doesn't look cakey. It's really lovely on the skin, even when you scrutinize it and it's, it hasn't really broken up fully. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I really hoped you enjoyed this review and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know. You can leave a comment down below, leave a like, or you can alternatively, as well, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Yvonne.pollard3, the number 3. But I always put my makeup looks and stuff on there, so. Okay, that's it then. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Thanks, guys. Bye.